Meet Olivia. Olivia is a 4-year-old female diagnosed with Prader-Willi syndrome who has an intense love for all things horses. Olivia is currently attending a Head Start pre-K program with a daycare in her hometown. No therapy services are available at her school at this time. Her mother states Olivia dreads going to school each morning. When asked why she dislikes school so much, Olivia states, "The kids are mean to me. They call me names like fat baby and make fun of me 'cause I can't run as fast or as far as they can, and every time I try to do the jump ropes I fall, so no one likes playing with me." Often when her mother picks her up from school in the afternoon, she notices Olivia is usually sitting by herself in the corner of the playground while the other students are out enjoying their activities. During a recent parent-teacher conference, Olivia's teacher informed her mother that Olivia was doing extremely well and her language arts and math skills, really enjoyed playing the educational games on the computers and iPad, but was having a difficult time completing her written work such as coloring and word and number tracing worksheets in a neat and timely manner. The teachers also asked Olivia's mother to no longer send Olivia to school in her favorite pair of lace-up, twinkle-toe shoes until she was able to tie her shoes on her own or wear any other items of clothing that required buttoning or snapping. Occupational performance, concerns and strengths. Concerns. Olivia has decreased fine motor skills. She is unable to tie her shoes or manage clothing fasteners and presents with having difficulties with poor grasping and handwriting skills. She also has decreased gross motor and low endurance secondary to poor muscle tone and struggles with obesity, resulting in her inability to fully participate in recess with peers. Prediction of occupational performance concerns can be associated with diagnosis of PWS. Olivia's strengths are being able to successfully operate educational-based computer programs and her love of horses that motivate her. What are the underlying factors and characteristics of the diagnosis PWS that should be addressed with Olivia during the assessment and intervention plan, and why? Olivia has decreased bilateral integration and dexterity skills, decreased activity tolerance and endurance, as well as decreased grip and fine motor strength. In order to improve Olivia's occupational performances and concerns expressed by her mother, all of these factors should be assessed and provided with appropriate goals to be addressed during skilled therapeutic interventions. What are the frame of references that are appropriate for Olivia? One frame of reference is the developmental frame of reference. Development occurs in phases, and actions are mostly determined by how well an individual has learned and integrated prior stages. Each stage of development can only proceed properly if the previous stages have been successfully accomplished. Incomplete development in skill areas will impact later development. Through the use of development frame of reference, we can prevent the development of maladaptive behavior and skills and promote growth and development to close the gap between expectation and ability, through the use of skilled application activities. The next frame of reference is the model of human occupation. Occupation is assessed based on the three components of volition, habituation, and performance capacity, within the environmental context. By using this frame, we can incorporate Olivia's love of horses to motivate engagement. Olivia has an interest in horses. To engage her interest, OT can have Olivia form play-doh structures of horse and complete horse-themed material to work on fine motor skills, such as practicing her coloring, tracing, and drawing pictures of horses to improve handwriting skills, and use pretend play simulating horseback riding to address gross motor, poor muscle tone, and decreased activity tolerance. Which top-down and bottom-up assessments should be used for Olivia? For the one top-down assessment, the Miller function and participation scale would be appropriate. This assesses the child's performance related to school participation, with a focus on motor skill performance, and measures mild to moderate delays in visual, fine, and gross motor skills. For the bottom-up assessment, the Peabody developmental motor scales can be used. This assesses the fine motor and gross motor skills by measuring grasping, visual motor integration, reflexes, stationary, locomotion, and object manipulation.
What occupation-based outcomes are to be expected and why? Through skilled occupational therapy services, Olivia will improve in areas of ADLs such as dressing and shoe tying. We can also expect to see an increase in social participation of play. Occupational-based outcomes will improve Olivia's occupational performance concerns by assessing and addressing Olivia's deficits through goal-based skilled interventions.
Progressive short-term and long-term goals for Olivia. Dressing goals. Short-term goal. To demonstrate improved fine motor and dexterity skills as evidenced by her ability to initiate a raking grasp to obtain small pellets independently on 4 of 5 attempts within 4 weeks. Long-term goal. To tie and untie shoelaces, bows and aprons using double knot method without assistance for 4 out of 5 opportunities within 2 months. Social participation goals. Short-term goal. To demonstrate improved strength and endurance performing motor coordination and bilateral integration exercises over a peanut ball maintaining balance 4 out of 5 times in 3 months. Long-term goal. To actively tolerate 10 minutes during recess independently 4 out of 5 days in 6 months.